It is my pleasure to welcome you to another edition of our meeting. My name is Toastmaster Muhammad Kabir Abdullahi, and I'll be serving as your Sergeant of Arms for this afternoon. It is my distinct pleasure again to welcome you once again. For our guests on the call, Toastmasters Club is a nonprofit. Toastmasters International is a nonprofit organization that provides us a mutually supportive and positive learning environment where we can all come, practice our communication skills, and build our leadership skills. And for this meeting to go on smoothly, I would like to quickly set some ground rules for us to ensure that we have a very professional, engaging, and fun meeting where we all get back the time we have invested in. First and foremost, I would like to start with, since this is a virtual meeting, I want us to ensure that our mics are muted so as not to interrupt speakers when they come up on the virtual lectern to speak. And then secondly, at Toastmasters, we are suckers for applause and appreciation. So I want us to diligently and ferociously use our reactions for everything, every moment, everybody that takes the courage to come up to the lectern. Let's appreciate them, let's show them flowers, and let's keep the comment section very, very engaging. And then thirdly, this is a professional setting, and we want to keep it engaging and non-discriminatory. So we want to refrain from talking about very polarizing topics such as politics, religion, or even themes that are sexual in nature. And then lastly, I want, for our guests particularly, if you are called upon to the virtual lectern to speak, we would want you to turn on your camera so that at least we can see you and connect with you and put a face to the names that we see on our gallery list. With those ground rules out of the way, next I want us to take on our Toastmasters promise. Let me quickly share that on the screen. A moment. Okay, so while it's coming up on the screen, okay, can I get a thumbs up if it's on the screen? Great. Let me. All right. So I'll go ahead and read it out while everybody can just read along with me with your mics muted. So after the count of three, 1, 2, 3. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Please, a round of applause for all of us. Let me see those reactions coming. Please, a round of applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So now, next, I will want to introduce to you a very, very, very important person within our Toastmasters community. In the person of our president. First, let me tell you who our president is. Our president is the Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo. He is an actuarial analyst and insurance product development expert, passionate about advancing universal health coverage and deepening insurance penetration in Nigeria. He brings a strong blend of technical expertise and strategic insight to designing impactful insurance solutions. A dedicated communicator and a leader. Toastmaster Kudus is a Toastmasters Triple Crown Award winner. Please, I want us to give a thunderous round of applause to our president. It's not easy to be a Triple Crown Award winner. Currently serving as our president and is the past program quality director for Era 11. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, the Sarah Hams. Thank you so much for the warmth of your introduction. When you started introducing me, when you started with very, very important person, I thought DTM Gimba was here. I was like, my DD is here, and I didn't know. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. I want to thank you specially for joining this meeting today. While before we started this meeting, I noticed that we had a lot of first timers. Thank you and welcome to today's meeting. And if you are a returning guest, you are welcome. We promise that the fun you had, the knowledge that you gained that made you come back, we are going to do much more today because we have an event-packed meeting for you today. Here at Seaside Toastmasters, we hold our meetings first and second Saturdays of the month. The first Saturday is a hybrid meeting, while the second Saturday is a virtual meeting from 1 o'clock to 3 p.m. And what we do is to help ourselves build our skills as public speakers, as communicators, and as leaders. Yeah. So if you are here today, I can assure you that you're not in the wrong place. For every meeting, we have a theme. And that's what guides our meeting. And today's theme is March On. Life's journey is not always about how fast we move, but it's about our commitment to keep moving forward. Every time we wake up to go to work, every time we sit in front of our laptops, every time we step out to make impact, what we are doing is to give, receive, or represent progress. And today's inspirational quote is by Confucius. And it tells us that it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. There's a popular saying that if you cannot walk, if you cannot walk, run, just make sure you are moving. At times, growth may feel that it's coming slowly, or it may not be obvious immediately. But what we need to do is to keep showing up, is to keep challenging ourselves, keep stepping out of our comfort zone, and then we will make progress. So today we are telling ourselves to march on. As Seaside Toastmasters, we believe in continuous improvement, supportive learning, and the courage to keep going. So if you are here today delivering a speech, taking a role, or you're just attending as a guest, let's remember that every step that we take is part of our journey to become a confident communicator and leader. You are welcome to Seaside Toastmasters. For today's meeting, I will not be the one to anchor it. There is someone who is ready to lead us while we keep marching on. We know that for every ship, we are going to have a captain. For every meeting, you have someone who either moderate or anchor. And today we refer to our anchor as the Toastmaster of the day, as we always do in Toastmasters. And who is our Toastmaster of the day? Our Toastmaster of the day is an experienced advertising and business strategist who serves on the board of some technology-driven companies. He is passionate about technology-driven solutions and community service. He joined Toastmasters to improve his public speaking and leadership abilities. He is the immediate past president of Seaside Toastmasters, and he has served in the Program Quality Directorate of the Division D, and also in the organizing committee of Toastmasters Nigeria Conference. Please, let's welcome to the virtual lectern our Toastmaster of the day, the immediate past president of Seaside Toastmasters, Toastmaster Ebube Modi.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for the warmth of your introduction. You know, I've noticed something about you, Mr. President, and I think it's a good place for me to talk about it. I've noticed that Mr. President goes all out to celebrate people, make people feel so appreciated, make people feel welcome. And I like to say, well done, Mr. President. Well done for the kindness in your warmth of words, for how you celebrate people, how you introduce people. Well done. And I would like to ask this question to us, Toastmasters and guests. Now we see our president introduce us in a way that gives us a soft landing. Are we appreciating our own president like that? And I know that Toastmasters is a club where we celebrate and appreciate people. And at that, I would like to indulge us. I would like to encourage us to kindly celebrate our president with a virtual round of applause. Please, can you use your emoticons to please celebrate the president, Toastmaster Kudos Adebayo. Thank you, Mr. President, for the warm and kind introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good afternoon. As have been introduced, I am going to serve today as the Toastmaster of the day, TMOD. Toastmaster of the day is like playing the role of an MC. So when you find yourself in a social event, you have a host, you have an MC, someone who steers a social event. Now, in Toastmasters, the TMOD is saddled with the responsibility to steer the different parts of our meeting to ensure that we meet you at the point of your need. I know that a lot of us have come here today with so much expectations. And I'd like to tell you that at Seaside Toastmasters Club, at Seaside Toastmasters meetings, we don't only meet you at the point of your need, we surpass them. And while surpassing them, we do that in a collaborative manner. So I would like to encourage you, for us to be able to meet you at the exact point of your need, we would like to encourage you to please participate. In the course of the meeting, please participate. Celebrate someone when you have to celebrate someone. Use the react button to appreciate someone. Use the comment section to, pour out your mind. And let's do one or two things so that we would all be able to have an enjoyable meeting. Seaside Toastmasters Club is a public speaking and Leadership Club. As Seaside Toastmasters Club, we believe that we speak to inspire people, we speak to sell, and we also lead to influence people and bet ideas. But can you speak and lead effectively if you have not been able to cultivate the skills? This is what Seaside Toastmasters Club does. Seaside Toastmasters Club helps you to cultivate your public speaking abilities and your leadership abilities so you can become a better version of yourself. We give you the stage to practice. We give you the floor to make mistakes. We give you mentors to lead you. We come and then we give you feedback. And at the end of the day, it helps you to evolve and become a completely better version of yourself. Toastmasters International was founded by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in 1924. We have over 16,000 clubs scattered all across the world. We have over 360,000 members. We are present in over 43 countries in the world, and we have been in existence for over 100 years. So which club will you want to bank on getting to go through the process of getting to become a better communicator and a better leader? It's only a club like Seaside Toastmasters Club, and by expansion, Toastmasters International. Our president has established the team March On, and he has also given us a charge that we need to keep challenging ourselves to be able to move on. And I would like to encourage us that all the plans that we have, sometimes it may not come as we have planned them. Sometimes there may be obstacles. But what our responsibility is to have the eyes on the prize. We need to continue to do the things that are necessary, the things that we have to do to be able to get to that destination which we have envisioned to get to. Today, I assure you that today's meeting is going to be packed with a lot of information. It's going to be packed with amazing and entertaining activities. All we need to do is that we need to go on this journey together. We need to go on this ride together. Toastmasters meeting is structured in different parts. We're going to be having the prepared speech segment. We'll also be having the table topic segment, and we'll also be having the evaluation segment. Prepared speech segment gives members the opportunity to go to their curriculum, Toastmasters Pathway, and identify their speech, work with their mentors, practice, and then come on stage to make presentation of their speech. And for the table topic segment, it gives guests and maybe Toastmasters the opportunity to speak off the cuff. This will not require that you have to practice. You will be called up the stage to just speak without having an idea of the topic. And then the evaluation segment is for us to have a check if we are meeting the Toastmasters standard, because every Toastmasters meeting is expected to meet the Toastmasters standard of what we are expected to do in the core essence of Toastmasters meeting. And for the evaluation segment, we have someone who is dedicated to anchor that segment. I, as the Toastmaster of the day, will not be able to handle the entire portion of the meeting. I'm going to be working with the general evaluator, who is also going to have his team that he's going to be working with. And our general evaluator for today's meeting, who I'm going to be calling up to define his role and also to introduce his team members. Our general evaluator for today's meeting is an exceptional Toastmaster, a seasoned Toastmaster, and he has been a member of Toastmasters since 2012. He is married with 2 children. He is the current president of Luminous Toastmasters Club. He is the past club growth director of Division F and a Triple Crown Award winner. He is a network marketer and investor who loves to read, he loves to dance, he loves to draw, He loves to play volleyball and he also loves to meet people. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, this is the time for us to show that, yes, we celebrate people. I would like us to please look out for our emoticons and please let us use the react button to clap and celebrate Toastmaster John Onomeya, our revered general evaluator, to come to the virtual event and give us a definition of his role as well as that of his team members. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. My job as the evaluator is quite simple. From cradle to the grave, you are doing one of two things. Either you are growing or you are dying. And if you've not intentionally decided to grow in any area of life, you are doing the latter. I am here to ensure that when it comes to your ability to present before an audience, you are going to be doing the former. How are we going to do this? We are going to do specifically two things. First, we've been paying attention to everything from the start of the meeting and will continue to do so to the very end of the meeting. Why? So we can come back and give you feedback on how to improve in all areas that we've observed. I've been saying we for a reason because I will not do this alone. I'm going to do this with my team members, each focusing on different elements when it comes to speaking before an audience. It's my pleasure to introduce my first team member. My first team member is an accounting consultant who is currently developing her communication skills through the presentation mastery pathway. She enjoys watching movies and surfing the internet in her free time. She believes strongly in the power of possibility and lives by the quote, "There is no limit to what we can achieve." Fellow Toastmasters, our lovely guests, using our reaction buttons, let's welcome our timer for today, Toastmaster Charity Agbaye-Kai. Toastmaster Charity, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Time, they say, waits for no one, and the role of the timer is to make sure it doesn't wait for us either. I'll do that by alerting each speaker of the time they have left using the green, the yellow, and the red card. For prepared speeches, we have an icebreaker speech that will last for 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll show the green card. At 5, I'll show the yellow card. And at 6, I'll show the red card. We have a speech that will last for 5 to 7 minutes. At 5, I'll show the green card. At 6, I'll show the yellow card. And at 7, I'll show the red card. We also have another speech that will last for 10 to 15 minutes. At 10 minutes, I'll show the green card. At 13, I'll show the yellow card. And at 15 minutes, I'll show the red card. For table topics, you have to speak for 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll show the green card. At 1:30, I'll show the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. And lastly, for evaluations, you have to spend 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll show the green card. At 2 minutes 30
Toastmaster Charity, your other device was kicked out.
Toastmaster, it's back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Please, let's watch out for those cards while we're speaking. By the way, for the sake of our guests, if you go to a Toastmasters meeting and you don't see that lovely lady, our timer for today, you might not really be at the Toastmasters meeting. She's everywhere at the moment. Now I'm going to introduce my next team member, who is serving as the R counter for this spectacular meeting. Our R counter for today is an experienced business analyst working in the finance sector. He enjoys quiet time indoors and wandering. He has an interest in business and is currently incubating an export business. If you're interested, please reach out to him. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please let's welcome with those reaction buttons our counter for this meeting, Toastmaster Grant Oti. Master Grant, over to you, sir. Toastmaster Grant, I see you in the room, but you are not speaking yet.
Speaking.
Beautiful.
I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests, and thank you, General Evaluator. I was saying that my role is the most fun role, and you will find out why as we progress. My job is very simple. But before I get into my job, I'll just tell you a joke that I heard recently. And the joke was, somebody was saying that the object we call umbrella, that is it possible that the person who wanted to name it hesitated for a minute or a second and just used a filler word? And the person actually intended to say brella, but today we call it umbrella. With that said, my role is essentially to listen very attentively and police how we talk. And as you know, they say police is your friend. And at the end, I would come and tell us how we've fared in the usage of filler words. Filler words like so, and things that we use in places of pause. So at the end of this meeting, I would come back and tell us how we fared in the use of it, and hopefully we'll not use a lot of it. Thank you so very much, and back to you, the General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Please let's celebrate the R counter and our guests. Please, if someone makes you laugh during the course of this meeting, let's use this reaction button so they know that he actually landed. Master Grant, I am going to steal that joke. The next time I'm playing the role of accountant, I am going to use it. That was hilarious. Moving on to my next team member, president of the grammarian. Our grammarian for today is a cybersecurity professional by trade. He spends his days and nights helping protect digital systems and analyzing threats in an increasingly connected world. Beyond firewalls and security alerts, he is deeply passionate about personal growth and human development. He enjoys reading books, going on adventures, sometimes daring ones, and exploring new ideas that broaden his perspective. He also enjoys meeting new people and learning from their experiences, which reflects his curiosity about the world and the people in it. Through Toastmasters, he continues to sharpen his communication and leadership skills while contributing to a supportive environment where everyone can grow. And we appreciate you for that. Fellow Toastmasters, our guest, please welcome, using your reaction buttons, our grammarian for today, Toastmaster Abdurrahim Abdul Salam. Toastmaster Abdurrahim, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. As grammarian, it is basically my responsibility to pay attention and listen very carefully to our use of language today, right? I will be looking out for outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and of course, I would also try as much as possible to look out for any improper use of language. That is just one part of my task today. I also have the pleasure of bringing to you our word of the day. The word of the day is indomitable. I'll take that again. Our word of the day is indomitable. This is an adjective of Latin origin and essentially describes someone that cannot be defeated, subdued, somebody that will not give up, even in very difficult situations. As part of my tribute to the recently celebrated International Women's Day, an example would be she kept marching on with an indomitable spirit despite the setbacks in front of her. I will also pay close attention to interesting quotes and sayings, like I mentioned earlier. And at the end of the When I'm called upon later during the meeting, I will give my grammarian report, and I will also give an account of how many times each person used the word of the day. Again, we are encouraged to use this word of the day as much as possible. The key word is use and not abuse. We are encouraged to use it during this meeting, as well as incorporate it into our daily vocabulary. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster John.
Thank you so much, our grammarian. Fellow Toastmasters and our guests, the final team members I have will be everyone in this room. You're going to see things the rest of us may not have observed. And when you see things you appreciate, please just put in the chat so the speakers know that, wow, I have that skill, I can do that. And it prompts them to want to do more. The next time you see my team or I at the very end, that's going to be an exciting moment because you know you are going to learn and grow. And remember, the only way to have an indomitable spirit when speaking is to speak. Over to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster John, the exceptional general evaluator, for the warm introduction of your role. Thank you so much, sir. Right now is a time for us to segue proper into the meeting. Our meeting, as we had promised, is going to come with a lot of exciting activities. And let's not forget the theme of our meeting, which is March On. Yes, some of us are going to be gracing the lectern for the very first time, but it's always impossible, really, until it's done. That is in the words of Nelson Mandela. And at that, I am going to introduce the next segment of our meeting, which is the table topics segment. And I'm going to introduce our anchor who is going to anchor this segment so he can explain to us what table topic means and why we should participate. Recall that when the meeting started, we made a promise that we are going to be active, we are going to participate in the course of the meeting. And also we had an alignment that for us to meet you at the point of your need, we need to have a collaborative and participatory moment so that we can achieve the goal that has brought you to today's meeting. And at that, I'm going to be introduce our anchor for the table topics segment. Our table topics master for today's meeting is an industrial hygienist and management systems auditor and a member of PEC-10 Toastmasters Club. She is currently on the motivational strategies pathway, developing her communication and leadership skills. She enjoys playing volleyball and collecting quirky items, reflecting her fun and curious personality. She lives by the quote, practice like you have never won, play like you have never lost. That quote was by Michael Jordan. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please, with a virtual round of applause, join me as we welcome the table topics master, Toastmaster Olem Urene, to the virtual lectern. Toastmaster lectern, if you can hear me, please, can you come up stage and take control for this segment?
I see a question in the chat area, but before I get to that, so we can maximize time. Good afternoon, Toastmasters, intending Toastmasters, friends of the club. It's a delight to be at Seaside this afternoon as your table topics master. My role really is just to invite you to the speaking arena to do some spontaneous speaking. What does this help you with? It does help with your listening skills and your ability to be witty and take responses when they come spontaneously. Here, you don't need a prepared script, you just need an indomitable spirit to, answer the questions. I will call a few brave voices this afternoon to share their thoughts around specific questions. And when I do, you just tell me your perspective, your opinion. You're even allowed to reverse the question I'm asking you if that's the case, just to give us your own perspective. To iterate the timing, you have 1 to 2 minutes to do this, and you are expected to just keep the timer pinned on your screen so you do not exceed time. You are also encouraged to infuse the word of the day indomitable. With that said, I'm going to be sharing my screen and I would like a volunteer, first a seasoned Toastmaster, to take a shot at a topic. After which, I want to hear the voices of guests who would not have the privilege of speaking at this meeting, except within this window. So I've been told I have 3 slots only. So take it hot, hot. If you can see my screen, please, I need a Toastmaster to guide how this would work so that guests on the call. Excellent. I see Toastmaster Austin. Toastmaster Austin, what topic would you pick amongst the 7 you see on the screen?
Good afternoon, Toastmasters guests. I'd like to go for tough times.
Ooh, the people who like it tough, huh? In the spirit of marching on. Thank you. What's behind this? Hmm. Toastmaster Austin, please share with us what motivates you to keep marching when the road gets tough? What motivates you to keep marching when the road gets tough? The speaking arena is yours.
Thank you very much, Table Topics Master, and fellow Toastmasters and guests. Well, I believe that we are both a product of our environment and a product of our nurturing. So I'd love to be told what I cannot do. I'd love to be dead. And the more I am dead, the more I am challenged, the more I want to prove a point that, yes, anything that you tell me that I cannot do, that is what I see myself. I want to do it to make sure that I prove to you there is nothing that is impossible for a man with a strong will. Over the past 2 to 3 years, I have had this experience practically, especially in the area of navigating businesses. It started with my physical business during COVID-19, and when it struck, I struggled, and a lot of people felt I was not going to make it, I was going to give up, but I stood. And because of that spirit of indomitability, I stood through. Thank you.
Table Topics
You're
Master,
muted.
you're muted.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so very much. I was saying let the reactions come through, and I saw a couple of them come through. And thanks for sharing, Toastmaster Austin. There is nothing impossible for a man with a strong will. That really stood out for me. Joel, are you a guest or a Toastmaster?
Yeah, I'm a guest. It's my first time joining.
Fantastic. I love it. So, what is it going to be for you? Goals, encouragement,
Let's go with
advice?
small steps.
Ah, I like it. Almost in the spirit of a first shot, right? I love it already for you. So, wait, what's behind this? I'm sorry. Joel, what
Yes,
is one
please.
small step you will take tomorrow to move closer to your dreams? What is one small step you will take tomorrow to move closer to your dreams? Lecture is yours.
Oh, thank you. Toast. I'm sorry if I cannot pronounce. I don't. I'm confused about who to salute and not to salute. Pardon my. Okay. Yeah. I mean, what is one small step we take tomorrow? I was not expecting it to be this fast. Tomorrow, very quick. Um, but then, as an entrepreneur who's just starting out, this is one step I'll take tomorrow, and that is crafting a proposal. So basically, I have a startup that I've just started, and it's into analytics for hospitality industry, especially hotels, and reaching out to hotel managers and um, basically hotel managers, basically, and those stakeholders in hotels that would likely make such decisions to, um, use our services, right? So crafting the proposal is what I will do tomorrow. Thank you.
Excellent. Please let's have our applauses come through for guest Joel. I'm sure this is his first time on a Toastmasters lectern. And he decided to take a small step. But if we don't want to clap to encourage that one, let him march on with boldness. Please, let's have the applauses come through. Thank you so much. Cynthia, are you a guest? Because you're going to take the very last topic. Are you a guest?
Yeah, I'm a guest.
I love it. Seaside, you guys are bringing in intending Toastmasters that are audacious and have indomitable spirits. All right. So, Cynthia, what's it going to be for you?
Inspiration.
Okay. What's behind that? Cynthia, please tell us about a person who inspires you to keep going. Tell us about a person who inspires you to keep going. The lectern is yours.
Okay. Pardon me, I'm not sure what the greeting is supposed to be, so I'm just going to stand on existing protocol. My name is yeah. A lot of persons inspire me to keep going, but for the sake of now, I'm going to talk about the most person, which is myself. I am my biggest inspiration because I believe I am indomitable. I believe that my mindset plays the part for me. And as long as I believe that as long as I can dream it, I can achieve it. So I inspire myself to keep going. I mean, it's one thing to dream, it's one thing to be bold enough to pursue your dream. And most importantly, if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. So when things scare me, when things look tough, I keep going. I inspire myself because I know that there can only be light at the end of the tunnel. And as long as I believe I am indomitable, nothing is going to be impossible for me to achieve. Thank you.
Oh wow, that was served really hot. Please let's have the applauses come through. Thank you so much for sharing, Cynthia. And that'll be a wrap for table topics. I'm sorry, I can't take any more. So just to wrap up this segment, we've had Toastmaster Austin come through to tell us that there is nothing impossible for a man with a strong will. Guest Joel has said going forward tomorrow, he's going to march on with writing a proposal for his tasks that he has ahead. And finally, Guest Cynthia says, I am indomitable, and that she inspires herself to keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters, our friends of the club, it's a wrap for Table Topics, and thank you so much for participating. It's back to you, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Olem. Please, can we celebrate Toastmaster Olem? Can we celebrate Toastmaster Olem with our emoticons, react buttons? Thank you for how well you have masterfully, handled this table topic segment. You did it with so much panache. You dominated this session and you were indomitable. I also like to commend the entire guests and the entire volunteers, the Toastmaster as well, that participated in the session. It seemed as though they had a prior knowledge of the question, but it's an indication of people who have brought themselves available to really want to go through the process to evolve, to become a better version of themselves. So once again, I would like to say thank you, Table Topics Master, for how excellently you have managed this session. And at this point, we're going to move on for Toastmasters to vote. In typical Toastmasters meeting, we ask people to come to the lectern to speak, and we also get to vote for them, right? Everybody is a winner in a Toastmasters meeting. Everybody who has participated in this table topic segment have won. That is the first point that I would like you to understand. However, we also want, for measure of meeting the Toastmaster standard, we also want to vote, to carry out a vote so that we would be able to celebrate the most improved in the course of this segment. And at this point, I would like to read out the names of those who have participated in the table topic segment. We had Toastmaster Austin, then we had, yes, well, and also, I didn't get the last name, but we had 3 participants who participated in this segment. So if the poll can come up, please, I would like us to vote for the person who will feel did exceptionally well, the most improved speaker in this segment. So please let the votes keep coming in and let us keep voting. Let us also remember that this is an opportunity that is given to us so that we will be able to offer feedback. Like the general evaluator had mentioned, he said that he's also leaving the feedback to us, which are the audience, which means that we also have a role to play in the evaluation segment of the meeting. Voting is part of that role that we have to play. And that being said, we would like to now segue into the next portion of our meeting. And that next portion is going to be the prepared speech segment. Like I had mentioned initially, Toastmasters is structured in different parts, and our meetings are structured in different parts. What we have just witnessed is the table topic segment, where we are able to speak off the cuff, where we're able to speak without preparation. Now, this next segment is going to be members that are going to be speaking, and they have a curriculum that they're working with. And at that, we're going to introduce who is going to read out the parts which they are going to speak on, and then they would speak based on the topic and the preparation which they have had. And at that, we're going to be calling on our very first speaker. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Okere, and she is going to be evaluated by Toastmaster Mary Aladeyin, which we know as Toastmaster Maya. And I'm going to be reading out the profile of Toastmaster Maya so that she can come up stage to explain to us the speech objective of Toastmaster Mary. And Toastmaster, our first speech evaluator, Toastmaster Mary, is a trained architect and a dynamic entrepreneur who runs a thriving export business. In addition to managing her enterprise, she is deeply committed to education and empowerment, teaching others how to navigate and succeed in the world of export. She also serves as the president of an export cooperative where she leads initiatives to support business growth and collaboration within the community. Beyond business, she is passionate about women's healing and empowerment, dedicating her voice and platform to helping women rise above adversity and reclaim their power. She joined Toastmasters to develop her communication, leadership, and public speaking skills. With a virtual round of applause, fellow Toastmasters and guests, please join me as we welcome Toastmaster Mary to read out the objective of our first speaker. The virtual lectern is yours, Toastmaster Mary.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Please confirm you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So today, our first speaker is Mr. Einaya Chima Okere. He graduated from Electrical Electronics Engineering Department of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. He currently works with NNPC E&P Limited as an electrical electronic engineer and production operations engineer. Serving in the Central Technical Services and the Production and Asset Management Division of NEPL. He has a strong interest in energy transition, artificial intelligence, and smart engineering. In his free time, he enjoys playing table tennis and chess, traveling and meeting new people. So Mr. Eyinaya is going to be speaking from the Pathway Presentation Mastery, Level 1. It's an icebreaker speech, and as the word implies, is to break the ice. That's tell us about himself and introduce himself to the club. Mr. Eyinaya, please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Toastmaster Mary. Toastmaster Eyinaya graduated from the Electrical Electronic Engineering Department of the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. He currently works with NNPC E&P Limited as an electrical and electronics engineer and production operations engineer, serving in the Central Technical Services and the Production and Asset Management Division of NEPL. He has a strong interest in energy transition, artificial intelligence, and smart engineering. In his free time, he enjoys playing table tennis and chess, traveling and meeting new people. With a virtual round of applause, fellow Toastmasters and guests, please join me as we welcome Toastmaster Eyinaya Chima Okere as he delivers his icebreaker speech. The virtual lectern is yours, Toastmaster Chima Okere.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I am Eyinaya Chima Okere, and I would say that this is the second time I'm speaking. However, I was told that my first speech was not in line with the icebreaker speech. So my speech is about it's centered around my voice, my power. So growing up, I've been in leadership positions. I've started from being in secondary school. I was the representative of the chess club, where I ensured that science students in my school got involved in things that had to do with both competitions, excursions, and all of that. So it exposed me to public responsibility. Going beyond that, in the university days, I played student politics. I represented my department in some capacity, and subsequently, in my final year, I was the coordinator of an NGO that empowered students in areas around capacity building and empowering students financially. So that also exposed me more to public responsibility and public interface and all that. After I left school, I was appointed into Imo State Local Content Compliance Committee under the office of the Imo State Governor, and in that space where I had responsibilities to ensure local content compliance, that further exposed me to this thing called public interface negotiation and all of that. Finally, I joined NMPC, and being a national company where there is influence, there is collaboration, and then there is strong need for communication, I realized that, okay, I needed to fine-tune that aspect of me. I realized that a voice that is not trained is simply noise. A voice that is not confident is silent.
We lost you. We can't hear you, Toastmaster Okere. Okay, while we wait for Toastmaster Okere to rejoin us, we are going to exercise some patience, and perhaps we'll speak on some of the things which which is our reality now, which is the International Women's Day. And tomorrow we're going to be having Mothering Sunday. And I believe that a lot of us are ready to celebrate our mothers. Our mothers are already expecting us to, show some token, send the money to their bank account, try to see how to appreciate your mother in one way or the other, because mothers indeed has to be celebrated. While we wait for Toastmaster Okere to rejoin us, perhaps it would be a good time for us to move on to the next speaker. And then when Toastmaster Okere rejoins us, we would also give him the opportunity to finish with his speech and to finish up with his speech. And at that, I would like to invite the evaluator for our second speaker. Our evaluator for our second speech is a face who we are already familiar with. And he is a chemical engineer with a passion for technology and storytelling. He's building Caliphate Times, a media platform amplifying Nigerian voices, and writes MK Notes, a personal newsletter on energy, AI, and personal growth. Fun fact, he organizes his life using a system called PARA. I believe he will explain to us what he means by PARA, but for us to focus on the essence of his evaluation, please join me, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as we welcome Toastmaster Mohammed Abdullahi to give us the speech objective for our second speaker.
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the game. For anybody that wants to know what PARA stands for, I believe that is behind the paywall. So I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande this afternoon. They will be speaking on the Presentation Mastery Pathway, Level 2, Project 3. The purpose of this project is for the speaker to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The speaker is going to spend 5 to 7 minutes on his speech, telling us about a time when they were a prodigy, share the impact and the
I've lost your audio.
Can I be heard now? Thank you very much. So I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande, who will be speaking on the Presentation Mastery Pathway, Level 2, Project 3. The speaker is going to spend 5 to 7 minutes to tell us a speech about a time when they were a prodigy, share the impact and importance of having a mentor. I'll be back during the evaluation segment to give my report on how the speaker fared. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande is a skilled multimedia presenter with extensive experience in speechwriter, event hosting, and voice acting. with a strong passion and enthusiasm for effective communication, she teaches and influences on imbibing communication and leadership skills. She's an associate of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, and holds certifications in voice acting, elocution, amongst others. Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande is speaking from level 2, project 3, and her speech title is The Currency of Guidance. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please join me as we welcome Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande to the virtual lectern with a virtual round of applause. The virtual lectern is yours, man.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, and I really appreciate that warm introduction. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Please confirm if you can hear and see me clearly.
Yes, we can hear, we can see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This afternoon, I will be speaking, as rightly said by Mr. Toastmaster of the day, I will be speaking on the topic, the currency of guidance. We all as human beings have been told or have been made to think that when preparedness meets opportunity, the results are countless. The results are enormous. The results are great. And so when we talk about opportunities and preparedness, we talk about saying, oh, when this opportunity comes, I have money to execute it. When they call on me to do this, I have some funds, some currency to go about it. But life has taught us that the greatest way to prepare, the greatest way to execute is not even by currency or the cash we have at hand, but by guidance. Because guidance is that tool that will shape the individual that wants to pursue that dream or wants to execute that project or wants to walk in the path rightly. And so, like every other person in Toastmasters, my journey as a mentee started sometimes in November 2024. I remember that I was on an official assignment outside Lagos and I received a text. Hi, Toastmaster Oluwatosin. I am your mentor. Let me know when it's good to talk. Of course, we scheduled our meeting and I was super excited at the richness of the voice and the maturity and experience that shows in the voice that was speaking to me at the other end of the call. My name is so. And yes, I am your mentor. We are about to kickstart your Toastmasters journey. Please let me know your expectations. And of course, before the end of that call, I got to know that my mentor is a great grandfather in Toastmasters, a general that has mentored a lot of speaking generals. And yes, it took me back to remember a time, I think one of my first meetings in Toastmaster, when someone came out to speak about his experience of mentoring. And he mentioned that whenever he needs his mentor slips out of his hands. Of course, we all had a good laugh, and he told us at the end of that meeting that please do not be that mentor that slips out of your mentee's hands every time they need you. But of course, that is not the case with me. Why would that be my case when my mentor holds the hands of every willing role players in Toastmasters on a weekly basis and guides them on how to play their roles effectively? So the experience I have had as a mentee in Toastmasters is one that is remarkable. It's one that would always linger. It's one that would always stay with me because I've received guidance, the currency that is greater than money. This also takes me back to when I was about to kickstart my event hosting journey. And I approached the person that guided me. I told her, of course, aside my professional training, I said, I'd like to do this. Can you please guide me? And every time she was going for an event, she would say, come, let's go together. I would sit in the audience, look at her body language, how she speaks, and everything she is doing rightly. And I was just holding them on my left hand so that I won't eat with it. And so one day, she didn't tell me. She wanted to shock me. During an event, she just called me. At this point, I'd like to hand over to my executive assistant, Oluwatosin, to do this. My God, I was shocked. But I stood up and I handled the microphone. And when I handed the microphone over to her, she came to tell me, she said, Oluwatosin, you have not been learning. You know this. You only pretended like you didn't know. And I smiled. This is not even a place to say that. Of course, I didn't know. I was learning. So for me, her guidance and mentorship helped me in that path. So it is with my Toastmasters journey. Please let me say that behind every well-delivered speech, I have spoken in and outside Toastmasters. Behind every of my well-delivered speech, there is a work that has gone into it by my mentor. There is a correction, there is an input, there's an observation that has gone through my mentor before I appear either on the physical lectern or the virtual lectern to deliver my speech. And so I am saying, because some of us believe that we know it all. Some of us believe that when we have structures put in place, that when we know how to navigate a terrain, then we do not need someone to guide us. I will put to us the quote by Isaac Newton when he said, he said something about, I have been able to go this far because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants who has gone ahead. And that's what mentorship does. Your mentor will hold your hands and guide you through the path that they have walked through. They make you miss the pains and the mistakes that they had, the mistake that they did, and the pains that they went through. So if you are humble and submissive enough to learn from your mentor, you won't have to go through the pains and the pains and bad experiences. They'll rather guide you to walk through the path that will make you get to your destination on time without wasting time. So dear Toastmaster and guests, I'd like to ask you, in what area of your life have you been guessing? In what area have you been doing trial and error, thinking that you can do it all alone? I am telling you that all you need, maybe all you need, is a guide, is someone that would guide you, a guide or a mentor, someone that would walk you through, hold your hands, walk you through, and make sure that you arrive at your destination without wasting so much time or without experiencing the mistakes that they went through. Thank you so much. And by the way, please, I'd like to use this opportunity to celebrate my mentor, the great-grandfather of all mentors, the man that has mentored generals of speaking, Toastmaster John Onomia. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please, can the celebration keep coming in? We need to, a grandfather celebration is, these applauses are small. In fact, we need to celebrate him some more. Thank you so much for that very informative, detailed, and exceptional speech. You have displayed a lot of gratitude because, you know, when people speak about people, mostly in the secular world, they try to pull people down. This is what is becoming a trend. If you notice the pattern in the digital space, a lot of people try to either talk about the negative parts, the weakness of people. But you have demonstrated gratitude, appreciation to the support and the sacrifices that your mentor has given to you. So I would even like to commend you. Well done for your eulogy and positive remark for your mentor. And guests on the call, this is the core fabrics of Toastmasters. When you join Toastmasters, you are going to be assigned a mentor. And if you are lucky enough, you will be assigned a grandfather. Now, her own mentor is a grandfather. But if you are lucky, they can even give you a triple grandfather that has already gone ahead of you, and that will then come and you can stand on their shoulders, according to Isaac Newton, which you also mentioned in her quote. And that also brings me to remind us that some of our mentors are also in the house, like our mothers. Tomorrow is Mothering Sunday. Please, they have also gone ahead of us and they have shown us guidance. Let us endeavor to celebrate our mothers tomorrow as they celebrate Mothering Sunday. Thank you so much. And that being said, I would like to bring back our first speaker, who had the privilege to speak on his icebreaker speech. However, he was interrupted by network. Now we have spoken and he has been able to resolve all technical challenges. So I would like to confirm if he's still on the call. Toastmaster Okere, please, can you confirm you are still on the call?
I am still on the call, yes. I am. Thank you.
So I would like to confirm from the timer if you have the last timing record for Toastmaster Okere. Madam Timer.
54 seconds.
All right, so you are going to come again. Okay, so you are going to start from that. Your last speech, your last comment was a voice that is not confident is silent. So I believe you can start from that to complete your speech. The virtual time is yours, Toastmaster Okere.
Okay, so as I was saying, I said, so I understood and I realized that a voice that is not confident becomes silent, and a voice that is clear and fearless becomes power. So that's why I had to join Seaside Toastmasters Club. I understand that where I envision to be requires a very powerful voice, and Seaside Toastmasters is definitely the training ground. So my journey to this club is to ensure that I build my voice, I enhance my voice, and at the same time, the fact that I know that my greatest tool is my voice, I have to sharpen it, I have to strengthen it, and I have to use it intentionally. And this is a community of people, from my understanding, that gives you that leverage, that environment to learn, to understand. And just like the last speaker said, I am equally opportuned to be attached to a great grandfather, John, Toastmasters John. So I will look forward to doing a whole lot in that regard as well. Now, to conclude this, my voice, my power, only gives me that idea that I have the capacity to take charge, and I cannot take charge if I don't become. And that is the process I am in now, to ensure that I strengthen my voice, to help me clinch that state where I would like to be. So same way that my voice is my power, is same way your own voice is also your power. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please, can we celebrate Toastmaster Okere? Please, can we see the emoticon? Yes, react button. Please celebrate him. Celebrate Toastmaster Okere for the warm speech. Now, there's something I'd like to say. It's not easy for you to be interrupted by network, and you will still have the same energy to still want to come back to complete your speech. Toastmaster Okere has demonstrated resilience, and which is the core essence of the meeting, which is match on. In fact, he is an embodiment of it. And then one of the key things which he said, which is striking, is a voice that is not confident, is silent. A voice that is clear and fearless becomes powerful. Well done, Toastmaster Okere, for the warm icebreaker speech. Just to let our guests know what an icebreaker speech is. It is the first speech that each Toastmasters give when they become members of Toastmasters International. So when you join, you will have the opportunity to have your first speech, and it's going to be called the icebreaker speech. Because of the want of time, we'll move on to our next speaker. And our next speaker is going to be evaluated by okay.
That's me.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see it on the document. Okay, our next speaker is going to be evaluated by our highly revered president. Recall that we had introduced him, we had celebrated him, we went all out to celebrate him because he celebrates people. He is a Triple Crown Award Toastmasters. When you become a member of Toastmasters Club, you will know what a Triple Crown Award winner is. It's not an easy feat, and he has the privilege to evaluate our next speaker. So with a virtual round of applause, fellow Toastmasters and guests here on the call, please join me as we celebrate and welcome Toastmaster Kudos Adebayo as he tells us the objective of our next speaker. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you for coordinating this meeting. It's the indomitable spirit that we know you for. We always tell ourselves that Toastmasters is a self-paced learning environment. But when the last time you give your speech was last year, June, and the next time you are planning to give another one, after a lot of pleading and begging and pushing, it's going to be in June. That means you give one speech in 1 year. Please, how well do you think that person is going to achieve his or her goal? To achieve your goal in Toastmasters or anywhere, you have to keep the commitment. And that is why Toastmaster Fini, Toyo, will be speaking from the Successful Club series, Keeping the Commitment. She will be telling us how we can reap the full benefit of Toastmasters membership with our commitment. And the title of our speech is Raising the Prayer. I don't know how to pronounce that, Toastmaster thing, but you can give us the right pronunciation. It's over. Towards the end of this meeting, I'm going to come back to give a feedback on how she has done on her speech. Thank you very much. It's over to you, the Toastmaster today.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, Toastmaster Kudos. Toastmaster Fini Toyo, our third speaker, is a brand management professional at Biesdorf Niver and currently serves as VPPR1 at Eagles Toastmasters Club. She is the motivational strategist. She is on the motivational strategist pathway and believes strongly in the power of the mind, living by the quote, whatever the mind can conceive, believe it can achieve. Finn loves traveling and cruising with 40 countries. Finn loves traveling and cruising with 40 countries and counting, and enjoys exploring new cultures and experiences around the world. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please join me as we welcome Toastmaster Finye Tonye to the lectern for her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Finye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, and good evening, actually good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and our esteemed guests. I'm really happy to be with you here today, as Toastmaster Kudus already introduced. Why are you here? I need to ask this very important question to my colleagues. Please let me know in the chat. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat because I'm presenting my screen, but I'll look at the notes later. Why are you here in this meeting today? Whether you're a Toastmaster or you are a guest, there was a reason why you signed up to Toastmasters or why you signed up to attend this very meeting today. And I want to guess that it has something to do with climbing the ladder in your career, in business, some level of elevation and growth that you were seeking. Please let me know if I'm correct. I'd love to see your emojis. Yes, no. If I'm not correct, maybe you just joined for fun. No, our raison d'etre. And it simply means reason for being. What is your reason for being a Toastmaster? It's very important that we understand and go back to that. Simple. Because remember, when you became a Toastmaster and you were inducted, there was a set of promises that you read out and you said you would keep. That invisible contract of leadership that we call the Toastmasters promise is very important, that we continue to read, but also take it into our hearts and into our actions every single day, not just in meetings, because Toastmasters as a journey does not end when you appear on screen or at the physical lectern or in the room. It's every day, because being a Toastmaster involves preparation, planning, and so it must be imbibed in us every single day. Some of you might be wondering, what is Finn's talking about? We're used to L3, Project 2, icebreakers, but I'm speaking from the Successful Club series. And as Toastmaster Kudus alluded to, it is a very important series in Toastmasters. There are a set of speeches, and it basically is delivered by Toastmasters. And the goal behind this is for us to share the different components of what makes a club successful. Some of it starts with us. As the Zulu saying says, Kukimi, which means it starts with me. It's up to me. And so, being a successful club involves a plethora of indomitable characteristics and habits. For example, keeping your commitment, having a healthy, positive club environment, indulging in moments of truth when we actually tell each other the truth about what we're good at, but what we need to improve on. There's so many things, but this is just one of them. And when I looked at the list, I said, this is the one I want to tackle because I believe that it all starts with us. Many of us joined, we've paid. Some of us have not even given an icebreaker speech after 11 months, 2 years. Some of us have never played a role before or only stick to certain roles in our comfort zone. But that's not why we joined. If you think back to your reason for joining, your reason for being, your raison d'etre, it was so you could become a better speaker. You could give better feedback, so you could become a better leader, communicate stronger. So we need to think about the why. What is your why? And let me tell you a very short story. Many of you may have heard this story because I keep on going on and on about it, but I can't get over it. Does anybody know what city this is? This is a skyline of a city. Any guesses, please? You might get a prize. I'll wait for you in the chat. But just to let you know, I traveled to this city a couple of weeks ago for a session. Somebody said China. Fantastic. Tokyo. Wow. That means if I tell you, then you'll be very shocked. This is a city in Africa, and this is Nairobi, one of my favorite cities, my second home. But what I want to share with you today is that I went here for leadership training, and it was a very intense, incredible session filled with indomitable characters. 15 employees from my company going on a leadership journey at the global level. And it was a very intense workshop. A lot of people ended up crying. It was super intense. I can't even give you the words. People were crying, people felt flustered, but I actually did very well in the workshop. And why did I do well? It was because the workshop was a blend of pitching, presentation, table topics, speaking under pressure, the disruptions when you're giving a presentation. Just, it felt like a Toastmasters pathway condensed into 3 days plus the apprentice. And I did well because of my Toastmasters journey, because a lot of the skills that were being honed in that session I had already developed at Toastmasters, and not before my Toastmasters journey, I have to be honest with you. And what this made me think was, oh my goodness, imagine if I hadn't joined Toastmasters. I probably would have been one of the people that would buckle under pressure, be super emotional, cry. I would not have shown my indomitability that I have been able to harness and build through Toastmasters. It made me absolutely grateful for Toastmasters. If you're hearing this story for the second, third, or fourth time, please forgive me, because this experience has made me super passionate about Toastmasters. But even more reflective of us as individual Toastmasters, because we join, we pay. But are we really going through the commitment? The commitment is not for your club. It's a successful club series, but it's actually for yourself. Because every speech that you give makes you better. Every role that you play is developing you. So who did you want to become by joining Toastmasters? And when are you going to become that person? Remember the Toastmasters promise. How many of us know how many bullet points on that promise? Can anybody guess? Please just use the chat box to let me know. It's a long paragraph that we read, but they're bullet points. And let me tell you, for those who cannot guess, there are 10 bullet points. But guess what? Those 10 bullet points are summarized into these 3 key promises: to participate, interact, but also to maintain the club quality. And what does this mean, participation? It means that we commit to showing up fully. We attend meetings when we can. We attend contests. We participate. We're there. And not just showing up, but actually playing roles. I made a commitment to myself last year. I joined Toastmasters in November 2024, and I gave my icebreaker speech on the 8th of January 2025. And I said to myself, I will attend every meeting that I'm physically able to. If I'm not in another meeting or in a plane, I will be in my club meeting. And I have to say that my record has been great, my attendance record. And then I moved to another level, which is that I must play a role in every single meeting. Forgive me if I keep looking down. I'm using my phone to check the time. I must play a role in every meeting. If I'm not speaking, then I'm playing a role. And that is what commitment is. And I have to tell you that the benefits have been astounding. Second, interact. We need to interact with guests. We need to interact with members. Remember that everybody is coming into Toastmasters at a different level. Some of us have been Toastmasters for just a year, 18 months, but some of us have been here for 15 years, 10 years. There's so many different people. Some people are guests that come repeatedly. We need to build that community. In Toastmasters, you can find mentors, you can find coaches, you can find even career sponsors, you can find peers, proteges, you can find a plethora of helpful people in your journey to becoming a better communicator, a better professional, and a better entrepreneur. And that is the power of Toastmasters and the community. So do you just attend meetings, you enter and you leave without even reaching out to somebody, giving somebody helpful feedback. That's what we're here to do. You hear somebody's speech, you can write love notes for them, whether it's virtually or using the physical papers that they give us when we go for physical meetings. That's what we need to do. It's not just about yourself. We also need to give. Remember, it's National Women's Day, and we're talking about give to gain. So as you give feedback, as you give evaluations, as you help people and give of your time, you're also gaining something. And last but not least, one of the core tenets of Toastmasters Promise is to maintain the quality of our club meetings. And this is very important. Let me tell you, when you see a club that manages a meeting strongly, succinctly, smoothly, the experience. I apologize. My laptop has had a bit of an issue, but I'm on my phone, so I'll continue from here. The experience is so much better when you have a club meeting that runs smoothly, that runs succinctly. It's fantastic. And so I want to implore us to take that excellence into our club meetings to ensure that we deliver. I love coming into clubs where all roles are filled. So how can roles get filled? By people volunteering. So again, it starts with us. How do we ensure the club meeting is fruitful? We keep to time. We have speeches of a high level. We have table topics as well. We're engaging our guests and our Toastmasters. People come and they feel absolutely challenged. That is how we maintain the quality. And I've got Martin Luther King's picture here because if he were alive, I can bet you he would be a Toastmaster. And that is somebody, absolutely, that is somebody that showed commitment to a cause. And commitment protects legacy. My club turned 20 years last year. And I have to say that the commitment to consistent quality meetings has helped to protect the legacy. And that's why we know that most businesses die within the first 5 years. Dare I say the same for Toastmasters clubs? But how can we ensure that we pass the 5, 10, 20-year mark? It's by quality. I'm very grateful for my Toastmasters journey, and it was a personal thing to me before, but I have to say that the session that I attended in Nairobi has made me an absolute Toastmasters ambassador, because I believe that Toastmasters is life-changing. It's not just about giving speeches. There is a lot to learn. In my current pathway, which is a second pathway for me, I'm learning a lot about self-reflection and looking at my development areas when it comes to leadership and how I can build on that. Remember, I came for communication, but now I'm building leadership skills. I'm seeing blind spots that I did not even realize I had. So my question again to you is, why did you join Toastmasters? Are you keeping your commitment? Ask yourself that. Look at that Toastmasters promise. Are you keeping your commitment to participate, to interact, and to maintain the quality? Because when we speak about successful clubs, people think it's down to the ESCOs, but you cannot have a successful club without the commitment of its members. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I want to leave you with just one thing. Success is not owned. It is leased, and rent is due every single day. Thank you most kindly. And back to you, Mr. TMOD.
Thank you so much. Please, can we celebrate Toastmaster Finn? Please, let the celebration keep coming in. This is an emotional speech, a speech that touches the heart. And it took courage for me as a Toastmaster not to start shedding tears. I'd like to thank you for taking us in this dimension which you have. It's a deep dimension that only can be accessed by the deep. And I'd like to say, well done. I'll quickly move on to our final speaker. And I'm going to introduce our evaluator, the evaluator for the final speech that we have for today. And our evaluator is a sales and marketing professional and a sports and fitness enthusiast. He enjoys spending quiet time in nature and loves playing the game of chess in his leisure time. With a virtual round of applause, fellow Toastmasters and guests, please join me as we welcome Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu as he reads out the objective for the final speaker. Toastmaster Ugonna, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you most kindly, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Good afternoon. Please confirm you can hear me and see me clearly.
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. So our last speaker today is going to be speaking from the Pathways Innovative Planning, and she will be delivering her second speech from level 5. Now, the purpose of this project, she's on a project where she's to use her leadership and innovative skills to plan and organize and also get a guidance committee to execute a project. Now, she gave us a speech at the beginning of the project, and she introduced these members who will help her execute it. So she has finished this project after so many months of dedication and excellence. Now, the purpose of this speech is for her to come and speak to us for 5 to 7 minutes on the things she has learned during the course of this project. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best. It's back to you, our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu, for the clear introduction of the speech objective for the next speaker. Our next speaker is a supply chain professional currently working at an energy company. Her interests and hobby are music, traveling, and reading. She joined Seaside Toastmasters Club to improve her leadership, communication, and public speaking abilities. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please join me as we welcome the very revered Toastmaster Miriam, okay, as she takes over the virtual lectern to deliver her speech. The virtual lectern is yours, Toastmaster Miriam.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and our indomitable guests. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Imagine waking up one morning, ready for school, your uniform is clean, your bags is packed, your homework is done, but you still cannot go, not because school is not opened, not because you're sick, and it's not because school has not started, but you cannot go because you have started your period and you have nothing to manage it. No pads, no support, only fear of embarrassment. For millions of girls, this is not an imagination, it is reality. And about 5 years ago, this reality inspired the creation of Paths for Health by Augustine Chima, and it is a campaign committed to ending menstrual poverty. No girl should miss school because of a period, in which I serve as a treasurer and coordinator of Paths for Health. So what began as a vision has grown into a movement to end menstrual poverty in our communities. But vision alone does not create change, leadership does. So today, as part of my high performance leadership project, I will share the journey of implementing the 2025 Paths for Health campaign, what has worked, the challenges we faced, and the lessons that I have learned along the way. So the goal of Paths for Health is very clear: to reduce menstrual poverty by providing access to menstrual hygiene products and education for girls in underserved communities. So for these projects, our objectives are also clear: to reach at least 1,000 girls in secondary school and IDP camps, not limited to just girls, and women in communities who are struggling to afford menstrual pads. Also conducts menstrual education session is also one of our objectives. Another objective is to build partnerships with community leaders and school. But beyond the numbers, the real goal was restoring dignity and confidence to young girls and women. So I would briefly talk about the issue of how we've done Pass for Health from 2021 to 2024 before I go to how we've implemented it in 2025. So in 2021, we went to a secondary school in Edo State, and we were able to distribute parts for the girls in the senior secondary school section of the school. That was SS1 to SS3. And the following year, come to, what do you call it? 2022, we said we were going to go back to the school, and we met a roadblock. They told us that going forward, we cannot come to the school directly. We have to go through a committee called Super, get approval before we come to school. So we waited for the approval, we didn't get it. So we had to change our plans. Then we went to IDP camp. So from that IDP camp, that's where we've been going every year. Then in addition to that, we look at security women who cannot afford pads, and cleaners in offices to share this part with. So it is very important for us to have partnership, and we've collaborated with schools in the past, and teachers and people in IDP. So in 2025, we thought about more ways in which we can do this, because there has been a laxity in participation among members. So we decided to open to do subgroups. One of the subgroups is in charge of publicity and the PR for Paths for Health. The other is in charge of funding, getting funds for Paths for Health. So we've been able to do 2025 Paths for Health successfully. We concluded last week, Thursday, in honor of International Women's Day. We were able to go back to a secondary school, going through SPE, and that's Society of Petroleum Engineers. They have educational programs already for students. So all we had to do was go through them. They got approval for one of their monthly lectures. Then after the lectures, we simply just distributed the parts for the students. So we have had a bit of, what do you call it now, challenges while distributing parts for people. And one is usually funding and inflation. When we started in 2021, I think we contributed less than 500,000 to buy over 1,000 parts. But this year we contributed about 2-point-something million, and we still bought 1,000, around 1,000, maybe 1,800 parts because of inflation. So that has been a challenge. Another one is securing resources into these schools, like I mentioned earlier, because for security reasons, schools are not just allowing people to come and distribute parts. We heard stories that people actually come and distribute things like that so that they can use girls to do money rituals. So we've not been able to access the school. And the last thing I will talk about on challenges is that coordination has been difficult. The members that joined Pass for Health in 2021 has evolved in terms of the fact that some were not married then, they're married now. So now getting them to come for volunteering work is difficult. Getting logistics is a bit more difficult. Everybody's schedule is different. So it has been important for me to have clear line of communication and delegation, so that we would be able to do everything successfully. In fact, the convener has plans to do other things. So most of the responsibility of raising the funds, of coordinating all those subcommittee has been on me. I am not complaining because of the results and the impact we've had so far. So I would round up by saying this: beyond the numbers, the most powerful impact comes from girls themselves. Thank you all for listening. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Miriam Oke, for pouring out your hearts, sharing with us the inside information. In all honesty, in business, we are supposed to pay you a consultancy fee, because just imagine how you were able to bring us up to speed with the challenges, the efforts, right? That is what a good amount, a significant amount of money when you become a consultant. Well done to you for the transparency in sharing with us. And that is going to be the final speech that we're going to have for today's meeting. Toastmasters is a club that helps people to come off stage to, speak, share with us, and at the end of the day, they will receive feedback. And it's an integral part of Toastmasters, because feedback is the core essence. It is the breakfast for champions, so that we can understand what we did good, and we can also understand some areas that we need to improve upon. And in this segment of our meeting, we're going to be having feedback on how well we have done. Some of the speakers are also going to be evaluated. Even myself, that is the Toastmaster of the Day, I'm also going to be getting feedback. These are the only fabrics that Toastmasters has built to help us to continue to grow, so that we don't remain in the position which we were. Just like the second to the last speaker had asked us a thought-provoking question to remind us about why we are here. What are we doing? Why are we here? Right? So if we have resolved for a particular reason to join Toastmasters International, there also has to be checks and balances that has to guide us, so that we can maintain our initial commitment as members of Toastmasters International. And at that, I'm going to be calling back to the lectern, the general evaluator, who has been introduced, to call as well his team members to give us the evaluation of the entire portion of today's meeting. Please, with a virtual round of applause, fellow Toastmasters, join me as, before I call on the general evaluator, we have to vote, which is also the most important part of the meeting. Remember when we did the table topic segment, we voted. Now we have to vote for the prepared speech segment. But I would like to confirm from Mr. President, are we adding the speaker who spoke for 10 minutes, or are we removing the speaker?
No, our speech type is different from every other one, so we are going to only vote for the other three. Sorry, that's what's happening.
All right, thank you so much. So please, can we pull up the poll so that we can vote, excluding the speaker whose timing was different from the other ones?
The timing report, please, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Yes. Thank you so much for the reminder, our very revered general evaluator. Please, can we confirm if the timers kept to time?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you.
For the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Eyinaya spent 5 minutes, 10 seconds. Toastmaster Oluwatosin spent 8 minutes, 19 seconds. Toastmaster Feyin spent 13 minutes, 59 seconds. And Toastmaster Miriam spent 7 minutes, 16 seconds. Only Toastmaster Oluwatosin exceeded the allotted time.
All right. Okay, that means, Mr. President, are we removing her from the ballot, or are you giving a waiver at this point?
We have to do it the way it is being done. So we are going to only vote for the two speakers.
All right. So now, please, can you pull up the poll for both speakers so we can vote for them? All right. So the voting prompt is going to pop up on your screen. Please vote for who you feel had delivered justice in the speech. Note that all speakers are winners. Voting is a way to measure most improved Toastmasters, and then we end up celebrating them. Congratulations once more. And at this point, we're going to call back the general evaluator for today's meeting so he can give us the entire evaluation of the entire portion of today's meeting. So please, with virtual round of applause, fellow Toastmasters and guests, join me as we welcome back to the virtual lectern, the grandfather of the great grandfather of mentors, Toastmaster John Onumiya. Please, Toastmaster John, the virtual lectern is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Fellow Toastmasters and our amiable guests, let us use our reaction buttons to welcome, to evaluate the indomitable table topic speakers, Toastmaster Finn. Toastmaster Finn, our virtual screen is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. That is much appreciated. Success occurs when preparation meets opportunity. This was said by Zig Ziglar, the American author and motivational speaker. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, I'm back again. Now, that quote perfectly captures the spirit of table topics because table topics is the moment when preparation and opportunity collide. You may not know the question. In fact, you don't. But if you are prepared, you can respond with indomitability. And today, what we witnessed was truly magnificent. Let me begin with our indomitable table topics master, Toastmaster Olam. Your delivery was confident, warm, and engaging from the very start. You immediately acknowledged the lively chat engagement, and with a welcoming smile, you encouraged participation while reminding speakers to use the word of the day. That was brilliant. Your visual presentation was beautiful and creative. It's honestly the best I've seen, and I've gone to a lot of meetings. You offered a clear array of topics that made the session easy to follow. The flow of your presentation deck was excellent. It was interactive, forward thinking, very organized. To me, it demonstrated indomitable preparation and commitment to your session. Even more impressive was the suspense you built before each selection. That suspense created excitement and kept the audience engaged. You also wrapped up the segment very nicely, giving the session a sense of completion. Honestly, Toastmaster Olem, I struggle to find any recommendations. I will say just keep running table topics for us, as well as Toastmastering of the day. And this is often the mark of a strong table topics master and a strong TMOD. Now to our speakers. Toastmaster Austin, you answered the question, what motivates you to keep marching when the road gets tough? Your story about navigating the difficult business climate during COVID was powerful as well as vulnerable. And I'm sure many people can relate to that. Personal stories are anchors that help the audience remember our message, and yours did exactly that. I particularly appreciated your use of the word indomitability, which is a strong derivative of the word of the day. It reflects a mindset of presence, but also an indomitable mindset, the determination to prove that nothing is impossible, especially when you're doing the table topics. One small recommendation would be switch on your camera when possible so we can see your gestures and expressions. And because you're an experienced Toastmaster, I'll give you this other one. Avoid starting any speech with filler words like well, which is how you started. Other examples are so, okay, right, all right. Starting directly with the strength will make your indomitable message even more powerful. Next, we had guest Joel, who spoke on the question, what small step will you take tomorrow to move closer to your dreams? You swiftly transitioned into the answer confidently about putting a proposal together. Your specific example was creating and crafting a proposal that you will then take to potential clients such as hotels and other horecas. I thought that was
practical, real, relatable. It showed action, the kind of small steps that lead to indomitable progress. My recommendation would be, even though you're uncertain about protocols, you can actually avoid opening by saying, I'm not certain. Instead, just confidently step into the opportunity. Table topics reward speakers who show readiness. And I will also say, just go ahead and create that proposal and start sending it out. You know what to do. So just do it, like Nike says. And finally, guest Cynthia, who spoke about inspiration. Your message was powerful. You said that sometimes the person who inspires us the most is ourselves. In your case, it is yourself. There were so many nuggets I picked from your table topic speech. If it does not scare you, it is not big enough. You also used the word of the day twice, which demonstrated strong listening and presence of mind. And I just like your audacity and confidence to boldly be inspired by yourself and even just state that. Because for me, it signals a call to action that I don't need external inspiration. I can inspire myself, and I should be that source of inspiration for myself. I loved that. There was something else you said. You said, as long as I can dream it, I can achieve it. Beautiful, remarkable words of indomitability that you showed through your speech. My suggestion would also be similar, which is you started by saying, I'm uncertain about the procedures and protocols here. Just jump straight into your speech with the same indomitable confidence you displayed. So, well done to all three speakers. Overall, what we witnessed today was a session full of courage, spontaneity, and resilience. Because table topics teaches us something very important. When life throws unexpected questions at us, we must respond with courage, clarity, and indomitable readiness. And I leave us with this final thought. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it, as said by former President and human rights activist Nelson Mandela. This afternoon, our speakers showed that true, resilient, and indomitable spirit. Thank you most kindly. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Fien. Let's give her a virtual round of applause. For our guests, especially the first-time guests, as you're listening to the feedback that is currently being delivered to the speakers, if you want to have an indomitable spirit while speaking, please pay attention and apply it to yourself as well. We've listened to the table topics evaluation. Now we segue to the prepared speech evaluation. And I'd love to call our first prepared speech evaluator in person of Toastmaster Mary. Please let us welcome her to take charge of our screens. Over to you, Toastmaster Mary.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. Please confirm you can hear me.
Good afternoon. We can hear you loud and clear.
Good afternoon. So I'm evaluating TM Einaya's speech. It's an icebreaker speech. And first of all, before I start, I want us to give him a virtual round of applause. Everybody. Can I see your reactions, please? So the applause is not just because of the beautiful speech he gave, but also because of his indomitable spirit. We might not know, but TM Einaya's speech, this is the second speech. The first speech had also been opportune to evaluate him, and I told him to repeat the speech. Well, from a moment there, I thought I sent him off, but he's back, and then he gave his speech, and even when he had that minor technical glitter, he still came back. I don't know any other that kind of resilient spirit. That is just indomitable. So going to the speech, a speech is supposed to be an icebreaker speech, and he's supposed to introduce himself to the club, and he was able to do that. First of all, he told us he was the president of the chess club at his school, and he was able to involve so many people in the science competitions. He told us of his involvement in student politics in his university, told us about his final year, also told us about his Imo State compliance and his present job working as NMP and working in NMPC, and the reason he decided to join Toastmasters, which is to make his communication skill, to improve on his communication skill, because he realized that NMPC, his present job needs that, right? So that is him introducing himself to the club. And I think with that, I would say that he was able to meet the criteria of the speech, which is the icebreaker. But some things that stood out for me, which I would want to talk about, is quotes. I wrote down, a voice that is not trained is simply noise. A voice that is not confident becomes silent. So those quotes were powerful, powerful, powerful quotes. And he also mentioned, when you sharpen your voice, you know what you have said. And the topic of his speech is my voice, my power. From that topic, from the title alone, you are able to understand the reason why he is in Toastmasters, to make his voice his power. What would I suggest as recommendations? Number one, I would say stand up. Next time, maybe you stand up so that way we're able to see you. We're able to see you completely. I won't talk about hand gestures and anything because that's not part of the speech. So with that, I would say very brilliant speech. Thank you very much for speaking. Please keep speaking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mary. Please can we use our reaction buttons to appreciate her? And now we move on to the second speech evaluator for today. Please let's welcome to our screens Toastmaster Mohammed Kabir. Toastmaster Mohammed, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. So before I begin give my evaluation report, please let me see reactions. A round of applause for Toastmaster Oluwatosin. Let me see those reactions. Thank you very much. So first, I would like to start with commending you. You began your speech by gifting us a big, wide smile. That made you very endearing and very welcoming. I know a number of Toastmasters that when they come to deliver their speech, they take themselves too seriously, like they are here for a Royal Rumble. Your speech started with a very strong and thoughtful opening. You began by telling us a commonly held expectation, but then you challenged us by showing us that that assumption is not truly complete. So in a way, by subverting our assumptions, you made us more curious to, okay, what are you going to tell us more? Toastmaster Oluwatosin also demonstrated a good use of physical expressions and her hand gestures. In one moment, she lowered her voice and slowed down while describing a Toastmaster that was describing how their mentor slipped from their hand. So that showed awareness of vocal variety. And also when she was describing an advice that she received from her mentor, she placed her hand around her mouth to mimic a private conversation. This small acting helped the audience, visualize the scene and added more richness to the story. A particular memorable line that Toastmaster Oluwatosin shared with us was the idea of preparation is not necessarily your cash at hand that you need for execution, but by guidance. That inculcated the indomitable role of what a mentor does in someone's journey. And towards the end, she engaged us by leaving very thoughtful questions for us. In what areas are our lives, that we've been guessing, in what areas in our lives have we been using trial and error? Those were very thought-provoking questions he left us with. A few recommendations that could have made the speech even stronger. First, the speech was delivered from a cell phone camera, so that limited us to see the wide range of your hand gestures. Next time, I would recommend adjusting the camera frame or even standing up so that we can all see the wide range of your hand gestures. And secondly, you could have added more vocal variety in your speech. For example, where you were describing the mentor being a great, great grandfather of mentors, you could have slowed down and emphasized each of the greats. So that will add more emphasis and bring more impact to the overall story that you have shared. And finally, there was a moment in your story where you were describing how shocked you were to be called up on stage. I felt that could have been an opportunity for you to use the principle of show, don't tell. You could have shown us the emotion by describing how you felt, how your body felt, or how you viewed the audience. That could have added more richness and made your story more vibrant. Overall, your speech was very thoughtful and had a very meaningful message. And I will categorically say you have met your speech objectives for this project. So my final recommendation is just keep on speaking. And over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. Please let us appreciate Toastmaster Mohammed. We've heard evaluations for people that delivered speeches for 4 to 6 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. You have to be an indomitable speaker to speak for 10 to 15 minutes. To evaluate this speaker, I would love to welcome to take charge of our screens, Toastmaster Kudus. Toastmaster Kudus, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Why are you here? If you has come to this meeting today and you don't know why you are here, by the time Toastmaster finish, ask that question. Why are you here? I am sure you would have thought about it. Why am I actually here? And you would have found a reason for yourself to be here, even if you do not have one. Thank you, Toastmaster Fini, for starting with that question. Why are you here? When you start with a question, it makes us curious. We want to answer that question, even though we did not give you a response, or not all of us give you a response. We all want to answer that question, and we are curious about how you are going to answer it. I love the fact that your presentation slides were great. You gave us a lot of illustrations, stairs, Nairobi. At first, I thought it was Kogi or Ibadan, but you told us that it was Nairobi. Thank you very much for that. Although your network could not let us see all your slides, but the ones we were able to see, we really appreciated it. You told us the story of your time in Nairobi, of how great you performed because you joined Toastmasters. And you did not just stop there, you told us what you did to actually get to that position. How you committed to make sure that you attend every meeting that you are able to attend. And also, you do not attend just to be in attendance or to be a part of the audience. You make sure you play a role or give a speech. Well done. You then ended with a lesson. You gave us 3 lessons: participate, interact, and maintain quality. Then what I would like to recommend, when you spoke about Toastmasters promise, in a meeting where we have a lot of guests, I think you should have elaborate about what Toastmasters promise tell us. You also spoke about moments of truth. These are Toastmasters balance. Yes, a lot of people understand moment of truth, but many of us don't. If we didn't join Masters, maybe you should have told us what that is trying to tell us. It is important to always carry your audience along anytime you are giving a speech. So you need to know your audience and then know how you want to address them. You asked us to drop comments, but you did not engage us. Yeah, I understand you mentioned that you were sharing your screen so you could not see it. But you could have engaged us. Maybe you could have asked us to speak. You have 10 to 15 minutes. You could have asked us to also speak so that it can be a two-way communication. Then you told us that you are going to come back to those messages. But in the end, you did not come back to those messages. I think your camera placement should have been better. You were not looking at your screen. Your face was like this throughout. Eye contact to make us engage with you. I love your conclusion. You said, why did you join Toastmasters? Are you keeping the commitment? And you asked it. Then you ended with success is not owned, it is leased, and rent is paid every time. Well done, Toastmaster Finn. Please keep speaking. It's over to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Kudus. Please, can we celebrate him with those reaction buttons? Finally, to evaluate the fourth speaker for today, let's welcome to take charge of our screens, none other than Toastmaster Ugonna Anyanwu. Toastmaster Ugonna, over to you, sir.
Thank you most kindly. Beyond the numbers, the most powerful impact were the girls. I thought that was very powerful. Toastmaster Mariam, first, I would like to commend you for your tenacity and indomitable spirit to even see this project through. So I think you deserve maybe a carton of Indomitables because of what you just did. It was a very, very important project. Thank you. And I also love how you started embodying the project. I could see it on your shirt, Paths for Health. So it's not a project that's, you know, the way we say it in Nigeria, we say audio project. No, it wasn't an audio project like the politicians do. You actually did it. I saw it in your clothes and I love that being part of. So it showed that the project was yours. It was not just something that you were just forced to do. You actually did it because you wanted to do it. Nice. And I love how you started with a smile. The camera was on you and you had that smile on your face, which is also good for speaking and warmth. And your camera were clear and the camera angles were okay for very good virtual delivery. So it was a good speech. If there are a few things I think you would take note of. First, this is a very, very important project. At the beginning, I noticed you were using the verb is. So our goal is, so it felt at that time like it was a futuristic project, but later on you switched to was. So we did this, it was this. So I then knew it was a project that had been done. So I think you might want to check that next time to avoid any form of confusion. I also would have loved for a speech like this, though, like I said, you had it on your shirt, Paths for Health. Graphics would have been good. Maybe for privacy reasons, you might not show the pictures of the kids, but at least a selfie of you and your team on the field would have been good to show the impact of the project you did. And we saw nothing about that. You know, we always say church or church, no evidence. For those who are not Nigerians, it means you have to show something. And I thought this was a good opportunity to show something. Then your vocal variety wasn't that top-notch from my observation, because this was an emotional speech, especially when you say the kids couldn't go to school. We want to see that reflecting in your voice. And when you give those numbers, the voice, the power you use in saying 1,000 girls, these are the things that can elicit emotions for speeches like this. Maybe, perhaps, somebody here would have been moved to drop 50 million to ensure the project continues. Outside that, I thought it was a very, very good speech. If you could look at these things, maybe going forward, if you are going on with this project, I think you would become one of the major change makers we have in our society. Well done, Toastmaster Mariam. It's back to you, the general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ugonna. If you still want to drop 50 million naira or dollars to Toastmaster Mariam, it's not too late. Now we segue to my core team members, and it's my pleasure to welcome to give their reports our counter for today's meeting in person of Toastmaster Grant OT. Please, let's welcome him using our reaction buttons. Over to you, Toastmaster Grant.
Thank you very much, the General Evaluator. As mentioned earlier, I'm the policeman who is your friend. Thankfully, not a lot of people will be pulled over today because not a lot of people used the M and R sounds. Just to mention that we also need to celebrate people who avoid the use of these things because it enriches the quality of both the discussion, the presentation, and the speech. So thank you to everybody who successfully avoided using any of the filler words. But in the course of the day, the intending Toastmaster Joel used twice. The table topics master, I suppose, used it twice, even though I wasn't clear. TM Miriam used and so once each. And TM Engineer used about 3 times about 3 times and at least once. So for today, our champion is TM Engineer. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Grant. For the sake of our guest, our champion means that person has the chance to really minimize or eliminate how much pause fillers they use. We are not encouraging you to use more of it. Now, moving on to my next team member in person of the grammarian, please let's welcome, using our reaction buttons, Toastmaster Rahim Abdul Salam. Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. It is very important to highlight the fact that there's a popular saying that goes, no victor, no vanquished. But as was said earlier, if you are here, whether you are a Toastmaster or yet to be, you are a victor. There are only victors here and no vanquished. As for my report, I'll prefer to take it in ascending order, starting with the usages, number of usages recorded for each person that used the word of the day. And in describing that, I would seek permission to use at least. So that's how I would prefer to describe how many times I took record of these usages. After which I will transition to the beautiful quotes that we had no shortage of in this meeting today. So Toastmaster Mary, Toastmaster Maria Moke, Toastmaster Kudus, Toastmaster Austin, intending Toastmaster Farida, all managed to use the word of the day once, right? We move on to Toastmaster Ebube, who used the word of the day, whose word of the day usage I took note of twice. Toastmaster Olem and Toastmaster Ugona Anyanu, I recorded 3 usages each for them. I also took note of 5 usages of the word of the day for Toastmaster John Onominia. However, we had a total of 31 usages of this word that I took note of, and Toastmaster Finitoyo accounts for 12 of those usages. A round of applause for Toastmaster Fini. I think that wraps up my count of the usage of the word of the day. Now, according to Brendan Brehan, he says, a quotation in a speech, article, or book is like a rifle in the hands of an infantryman. It speaks with authority. And trust me, there have been no shortage of quotes today and creative use of language. I'll start with Toastmaster Ebube, who at some point earlier told us that it is always impossible until it is done. I think he was quoting Mandela, he mentioned. I'll move on to Toastmaster Austin, who also said, nothing is impossible for a man with a strong will. Before I continue, I would like to highlight the fact that a lot of the quotes we took note of today resonated with the theme and somehow with the word of the day. I'll move on to Cynthia, who gave us a very beautiful impromptu speech. And she says, if it doesn't scare you, it is not big enough. Ladies and gentlemen, does your dream scare you? And to Toastmaster Enyinaya Okere, he gave us 3 beautiful lines. And I would say, he said, A voice that is not trained is simply noise. A voice that is not confident becomes silent. And a voice that is clear and fearless is power. I'll come back to Toastmaster Tosin Alayande, and she says, I have been able to go this far because I am standing on the shoulders of those who have gone ahead, quoting Isaac Newton. And to Toastmaster Fiyin, whom I would like to take last, she took us to South Africa. She said, Hukimi. I had to go and research, but it is essentially a call to action. It means it is mine. It is a call to take personal responsibility. She says, being a Toastmaster involves a plethora of indomitable characteristics. Why then would you not want to be a Toastmaster? I just added that. Now, she also gave us a very sweet one, and it says, success is not owed, it is leased, and rent is due every single day. And last but not the least, she says, courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. She was quoting a very popular figure. I missed that part. So summarily, as we march on in life, beyond this meeting generally, I think it is worth noting the fact that the use of the word indomitable is often used to describe people who have triumphed. When people tell your story tomorrow, would you not want it to be one of indomitability? Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster John.
Yes, I will want mine to be that, as you've asked. Please, can we celebrate our grammarian for this meeting? And as we proceed to our next role player in the evaluation team, I would like to implore us, please, can we use reaction button? For whatever reason, when I introduced the grammarian to give his reports, I didn't see many people using it. This time, as I welcome back the timer to give her final report, please let's use reaction buttons. Let's welcome back to take charge of our screens, Toastmaster Charity Agbayekai. Toastmaster Charity, over to you, please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. At the beginning of the meeting, I mentioned that I would come back with reports on how we fared, and here it is. For table topics, Toastmaster Austin spent 1 minute 43 seconds. Toastmaster Joel, guest Joel, spent 1 minute 15 seconds. Guest Cynthia spent 1 minute 7 seconds. For evaluations, Toastmaster Finn spent 6 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Mary spent 3 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Muhammad spent 4 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Kudus spent 3 minutes 36 seconds. And lastly, Toastmaster Ubuna spent 3 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Kudus and Toastmaster Muhammad exceeded the allotted time. The meeting was scheduled to end at 3. However, we've exceeded the time by approximately 30 minutes. That concludes my report, and it's back to you, the General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Charity. Please, can we celebrate her with our virtual round of applause? And now I'll be giving my General Evaluator's report. The Toastmasters and guests, I think you'll agree with me that it was an incredible meeting that we've had thus far. I love the fact that 18 people joined the meeting well before 1 o'clock when the meeting was supposed to start. We need more people doing this. Kudos to everyone who did that. Guests and Toastmasters were kept engaged before the meeting. They were asked if they were first-time guests or otherwise, and there was just some communication going on, which is very commendable. The meeting started at 1 p.m. Mr. Sergeant at Arms, please change nothing about your personality. Thank you so much for doing that. You ensured that once it was won, we kicked off. I loved it. And you gave us clear ground rules, and that was really relevant for this meeting where we had so many first-time guests. You don't want them to feel uncomfortable. Once you lay down the rules, it makes it easy for them to relax and be a part of the meeting, be fully present. Thank you so much for that. There are some areas of improvement. First, the agenda was awash with activities. When I saw the agenda, we had 4 speeches, one of them being 10 to 15 minutes. And then we also had table topics. That was way too much. I called the VPE to tell him that we are going to go well beyond the allotted time just by viewing the agenda. Our performance starts from the preparation. Our preparation is what you put on the agenda. So next time, I'll recommend that you reduce either the number of speeches or eliminate table topics altogether. You need to factor in the time for transition to ensure we stick within time. Also, the agenda was shared today. There are things that need to happen before the meeting starts. If the agenda is shared on the day of the meeting, we are not going to be able to do those things. Once again, it's going to drop the quality of the meeting. I would recommend minimum of about 48 hours before. Even if the role players are not complete, you can update it later. What else did I observe? The Toastmaster of the day is both the MC as well as the host, which means as the host, please show up early. I'll recommend a minimum of 15 minutes before the meeting. Why do I say this? You are the one that needs to welcome our guests if there's no music being played, or if you've not delegated someone else, maybe the sergeant at arms to do so. But for today, you showed up 5 minutes before the meeting started, which some may say that's early, but as I stated, a number of people showed up much earlier than that. So next time, if you're playing such a pertinent role, show up that early. When the meeting started, the Toastmaster of the day used too much time for the introduction. I don't know if you were not aware of the card. And a way that you can curtail that is by focusing on your core areas. You don't have to tell us specifically about Seaside. Leave that to the president. You can tell us about Toastmasters generally, but ensure that you keep to time, because that already threw us off by about 6 minutes by the time the introduction was done. For everyone that gets to speak here, I said it before the meeting started, if you can, please ensure your camera is on. A major part of speaking is what you do with your body. It's not the words that come out of your mouth. So we need to see what you're doing, and we can give you feedback on that. Prepare to do that. When you're playing the role of Table Topics Master, one of the ways you can ensure that you don't have to ask for volunteers is to engage with people. The ability to private chat people has not been disabled here, which means you can actually private chat people and tell them about table topics, ask in advance if they want to participate. And if they say yes, fantastic. You have your volunteers before the meeting starts, which is another important reason why you need to show up early and engage with those available. And if you don't show up early, engage with them while the meeting is going on. Final recommendation, please let's all respect time. You're playing a role or you're speaking and you see the card turn to red, segue to your conclusion. You may have a lot of important things to say, but one of the skills we're learning here is how to use time. You need to learn how to do it. So once you see the card that says red, you know you have maximum of 30 seconds. Find a way to segue to your conclusion and end. We need to respect everyone's time. We need to ensure that we're excellent in what we do. And it's a way of giving proper service to those that are in the room. Some other things I love, the grammarian, well done. I could see that you regularly put the word of the day in the chat. Just reminded us, oh yes, I need to use that word of the day. Also, you played a game. I don't know if I've seen a grammarian that made a game out of the word of the day. How many times was word of the day used? And people were responding. I love that. We had guests that volunteered. Our guest Joel, our guest Cynthia. You truly have indomitable spirits. For the other guests, I'll encourage you to do that. You want to become a better speaker, please do that. I love the engagement in the chat box. It made me feel like people were there. When your cameras are off, people can feel, I don't know if these people are here. Are they cooking? Are they watching a football match? But when you're typing, it makes us feel that other people are actually in the room. The speakers for the prepared speeches were captivating, edutaining speeches, and it was clear that you were pushing yourself to grow. For those that are not aware, everyone that's spoken today is trying to grow. At the height of this meeting, we had 56 participants. Whatever you are doing in Seaside to get people to join, keep doing that. Now, we still have 40 participants, and that is remarkable considering the fact that we've already overshot the time that we expected to use. I loved our timer. She started doing her job from the beginning. Sometimes what the timer will do is wait till they're introduced. Our timer started at the beginning and is still doing her job right now. Thank you so much. Our Toastmaster of the day, you were very engaging. And I love the fact that you celebrated people. You went above and beyond to really celebrate people. It shows us that this is a trait that is worth exemplifying. And you did that. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Fing, I love when your child came in view when you were doing your evaluation. Some people will just send a message saying, sorry, I can't do it. I have to watch my child for whatever reason. But you showed that you're a paragon as a Toastmaster, and you continued unflustered and delivered your report. I think it's been an amazing meeting. Let us please take the recommendations and work on improving it so that next time the things that have been said won't have to be repeated. And when people talk about joining Seaside Toastmasters meeting, they only have positive things to say. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, let's welcome to take control of our screens once more, the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster, it will be Mordi. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Please, can we celebrate Toastmaster John? Please let the celebration keep coming on. Thank you so much for the evaluation, and thank you to your team for also delivering an amazing evaluation. All the feedbacks that has been shared are well received. We are work in progress. We'll continue to see how we're able to keep up. And I believe that we would have no other option but to align with the recommendation. Thank you so much. I'd like to say this quote before I hand over to the president. Yes, the theme of the meeting is march on. A lot of us have been gingered. We are all fired up to not want to give up on the goal which we have. Yes, there may be obstacles. Yes, there may be challenges along the line. But something in the words of Joyce Meyer, she said that we should keep showing up and we need to keep doing it afraid. Because it is only when we keep showing up, sometimes we may not have the 100% confidence. We may not have the 100% strength to want to do it. We have to just do it afraid. That is the only way that we can evolve to that version of personality that we want to become. And that being said, I'd like to say thank you to the president for the opportunity given to me to serve, because it is his approval that I am here to serve as the Toastmaster of the day. I also like to say thank you to the Vice President Education for the opportunity and the entire Seaside Executive. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. At this point, I would like to hand over control now to the very revered, the celebratory, the Triple Crown Award winner, the ebullient and the exceptional president of Seaside Toastmasters Club. They took over the virtual lectern from him. Please, can we celebrate the president as he takes over control of the meeting from here? Over to you, sir, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you for making me blush. Thank you so much, everyone. We really appreciate that we get to this time and into this meeting. Thank you so much. We want to appreciate especially our guests who joined us today. Thank you. Please wait behind after the meeting. Toastmaster Grant, with our Vice President membership, would like to have a chat with you and also introduce Toastmasters to you and how you can join. Then we also want to meet you. Thank you so much. I want to also thank our guest Toastmasters. I see the president of Pecten Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Olem. Thank you very much for joining us. And also the president of Eagle Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Joy Ojakovo. Thank you so much for joining us. And other Toastmasters who have decided to visit our club today. Thank you so much. Before we conclude today's meeting, I would like to, I have some announcements. But before we even get there, I would like to celebrate Toastmaster Chima. Well done for your wonderful speech. Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande, who went ahead to celebrate Toastmaster John currently. And if you know, we like to celebrate Toastmaster John a lot. He is fondly referred to as the mentor of mentors. He has really imparted a lot in all of us. So Toastmaster John, please let's celebrate him. Thank you very much for all you do at Seaside and Toastmasters International in general. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Finn, for your wonderful presentation. It is a wake-up call to us all that we need to keep the commitment, we need to keep pushing, and we need to keep ensuring that we do our own part in improving ourselves as we go towards finding ourselves. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Finn. And Toastmaster Miriam, I really celebrate you. When Toastmaster Miriam was doing this project, anytime I speak with her and I ask her, how is your project going? I hear the stress from her voice. And I'm happy that she was able to conclude it and share with us the story of this project. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Miriam. We had some votes during the course of today's meeting, and I am happy to tell you what the result looks like. First, for the best table topics voted by you is intending Toastmaster Cynthia Mama. Please let's give her a round of applause. She was really passionate about her speech. Thank you very much. And the best speaker is Toastmaster Mariam. Okay. Thank you so much for the wonderful work that you do, Toastmaster Mariam. I would also like to let us know that last week we had the Area 14 International Speech and Evaluation Contest. In every Toastmasters year, we usually have 2 contest periods. And the second one for this Toastmasters year, yet again, Seaside Toastmasters went to the area and won both the international speech and evaluation contest at the area. Toastmaster Ugona Anyang won the international speech contest, while Toastmaster Kudus Adebayo won the evaluation contest. And again, Toastmaster Imi Basi came second runner up for the evaluation contest. Thank you so much for representing us well. And these people will be going to the division contest. They have qualified to the division contest. And on the 11th of April, the division contest will be holding, and Toastmaster Ugona and Toastmaster Kudus will represent Seaside and Area 14 in those contests. Please let's show up to support them. I would also like to celebrate Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande. Since December, we have been trying so hard to get just one goal at Seaside, which is to complete for one person to complete level 2 since December. And Toastmaster Oluwatosin Alayande has come to our aid now, and she has just completed her level 2. Please let's congratulate Toastmaster Oluwatosin for this great feat. And also, this is also a congratulations to Seaside, because as we speak, because of Toastmaster Oluwatosin, we have achieved all our goals for this Toastmasters year. Congratulations, Toastmaster Oluwatosin, and congratulations to all of us at Seaside. Also, Toastmaster Mariam, our speech today signaled the completion of our level 5. This means that she just have a path completion speech to give, and she would have complete a pathway. To our guests in Toastmasters, we have 6 pathways, which goes from level 1 to level 5. So each speech that you give is part of each levels. Toastmaster Miriam has just one speech to complete a whole pathway. Well done, Toastmaster Miriam, for your resilience. I would like to let us know our guest, please. As I said earlier, can stay behind to learn more about Toastmasters. And also, this is also a good time to join Toastmasters because our members are currently renewing their dues. So this is like a start of the year for us. So please, if you would like to join, you can always that we put you to that. And also, our members, please come and pay your dues. We need to march on. We need to continue this growth. We cannot stop here. Come and pay your dues. Reach out to Toastmaster Mariam. She will be willing to put you through this. Thank you very much. And I would like to end with a quote from an author, Robert Collier. Success is the sum of small effort, repeated day in and day out. For us to attain the success that we are yearn for us to get to where we want to get to, we need to keep showing up. We need to march on. Please, let's ensure if it has been long, you give a speech, reach out to your mentor today and come and give a speech. Don't think I'm not talking to Toastmaster Francis, but I'm just saying my own. So if it has been long, you give a speech, come and give a speech. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll hand over to Toastmaster Grant now. The meeting is, we are concluded the meeting now, but please guys, stay behind. We would like to meet you. We would like to know you. Toastmaster Grant will be anchoring that part. Toastmaster Grant, it's over to you. Timer, you can take off your card now. We are done with the meeting now. Thank you. Toastmaster Grant, are you still with us? Oh, I guess he has just dropped off. I think Toastmaster Mohammed, we don't want to help us with that. Oh, you've taken off your cap, sorry. Well, you can do without the cap.
So what am I here to do?
Just help us coordinate the session where we meet our guests and also try to tell them about what Toastmasters is for those who are willing to join.
Oh, okay. So good evening, our guest once again. Thank you for staying and be part of our meeting all the way to the end. As we have earlier told you about what Toastmasters is, and you have experienced it for yourself. Toastmasters is a nonprofit organization that is designed to help you build your communication skills, develop your leadership skills, and it is structured in a very organized manner where you have different education pathways where you get to complete projects. Each project has each speech you deliver has a specific outcome that is required for you to learn. And as you go on, as you deliver speaking projects, you get to improve, receive feedback, and on and on and on. As you all know, the journey of self-improvement is a decision you make, is a lifestyle that you adopt for yourself. And Toastmasters International, trust me, is one of the cheapest and most effective investments you can do for your personal and your professional life. With that being said, I want to hear from our guests, please. Let me see which let me see the participants. Okay, we'd like to entertain show of hands. We'd like to hear from you, our guests, what you thought about our meeting. And please ensure that we have a form we have dropped in the chat box. Please ensure that you fill that form so that we can reach out to you. So let's hear from our guests, please, your thoughts about introduce yourself, your thoughts about our meetings, and tell us when are you going to join us. Any guests?
Good afternoon. Do I need to turn on my video? Good afternoon.
Good
My name is
afternoon.
Taiwo Daniel. So today was my first session of like a proper Toastmasters meeting. The time before this that I attended was, I think it was a competition or a tournament among the members, sometime maybe last year or so. So as for today's session, I found it very interesting, very insight. I was able to gain like a good insight about what the group is about and what's expected of the members. I look forward to participating and joining and finding out what the group is all about in terms of what is required to join. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Please ensure that you fill in our form so that we'll reach out to you, and then we'll just tell you about the token. It's just a small token required to join Toastmasters International. Trust me, you hear a common theme for all Toastmasters that have joined. Once you attend a meeting for the first time, you get hooked. Toastmaster, Mr. President can tell you that from his personal story. Once you attend a meeting, you will get hooked and you find yourself just being accustomed to the lifestyle of constant personal development and improvement. And as we all know, communication is a very, very vital soft skill we need both in our personal and professional lives. And as you can see, one very important aspect the most important, I believe, is the constructive feedback. We are not all here to come inspire ourselves and tell ourselves feel-good stories. We deliberately listen and give you the right feedback for you to go internalize and come back better. Because learning does not happen by just, sitting down and listening. There has to be a change. And trust me, Toastmasters is the platform where every meeting you come, you will leave changed. One thing, it could be learning a new word. It could be from listening to evaluations given from other speakers where you can pick one or two things from on how to improve your day-to-day interactions and communications and so on and so forth. So it's an investment in yourself that, trust me, you will not regret. Can we have, I thought I saw a hand. Let's hear from another guest.
Should I help you call people so that they can?
Okay.
Okay, let me help you with that.
Maybe you have to put some of them on spot.
Guys, Buluatife would like to hear from you. Intending Toastmaster Cynthia, table topic speaker of the day. I can see Damilola. Please, you can unmute and tell us what you feel about the meeting. Yeah, Buluatife is here.
Good Afternoon from my own end. I'm sorry I would not be able to put on my camera if that's fine. Once again, I am Aladibula Anna, and I am currently a student from, this isn't my first time of joining, but this is my first time of attending the meeting for the length of time, right? I would always join and something would happen. I have to up off, right? And so today I have a clearer picture of what Toast Master is actually about. And I'm a person who actually appreciates communication skills, and I really want to do more in that regard, right? So joining Toastmaster would be something that I want to do for myself. And I am also looking forward to getting to know what the criteria, right, are for me to join the Toastmasters Club. Yeah, so thank you. Especially this count. I use filler words most time often. So I want to try my possible best to eliminate that. And yeah, basically that is that from my own end. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for staying with us all the way to the end. We look forward to engaging with you and just outlining with you all the requirements needed to join. It's not a long list. You can fulfill them today. By next week, we'll have you on our lectern giving your icebreaker. We're eagerly looking forward to having you join us. One thing about Toastmasters, you had mentioned that communication is an area you want to improve. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, this is the best platform to improve your communication ban on. Why? Because the method is time and trusted. Number one, it introduces you to different levels. It does not just throw you up into a deep end, and it's not a master class where you come and somebody will just come at the board and tell you, okay, to be a good speaker, you need to do this, you need to do this, and voila, you're a wonderful public speaker in day one. You cannot, one thing about speaking and communication, you cannot read your way out of public speaking. You have to practice it. You have to feel the nerves and the jitters course through your body and get acclimatized to that feeling. That's how you get to improve and become better. Let's hear from another guest, please. Guest Cynthia, guest Damilola, let's hear from you.
Hi everyone, my name is Damilola. Sorry, I won't be able to put on my camera because I'm preparing to drive. Today's session was really insightful, and I really enjoyed, the engagement and all the topics that were touched and the feedbacks that were given as well to each speaker. It really, also just reinforced my need to join the Toastmaster International. I'm really looking forward to joining. I've filled the form already because I think my communication skills is something I really want to improve, personally and professionally as well. So I'm really looking forward to just being a part of the Toastmasters International. And I would also like to know how often this meeting happens virtually and also the physical meeting as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're looking forward to having you join us. So for Toastmasters clubs, typically most clubs meet twice in a month. For Seaside, we meet every first and second Saturday of every month. For the first Saturday, It's a hybrid meeting where we have physical participation, both physical and virtual participation. We hold our meetings at Eco Hotel, same time, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And for the second Saturday of the month, it's a virtual meeting like we are having this afternoon. So the time commitment is just 2 meetings for a club, 2 meetings in a month. One thing I want to add about what Toastmasters give you. Once you join and become a Toastmaster, it's a title you can carry anywhere you travel, and anywhere you go, you can attend any club meeting, you can deliver your project at any club meeting. You can travel to the UK and just Google any Toastmasters club in the area. You can just walk in there and you find yourself, you feel at home because you're in the midst of fellow Toastmasters, and you can even go ahead and even deliver projects, a speech project over them. And one very underrated value Toastmasters gives you is the ability to network. You are in the midst of people that have come here with the shared goal of just trying to improve themselves. If you are looking for connections, maybe for your business, you will find prospects in Toastmasters meeting. If you are looking for love, I think Toastmasters could do join Toastmasters to find love. If you are looking for love, you'll find it in Toastmasters. So Toastmasters gives you also ability to network with a wide range of professionals across different industries, different walks of life. You can learn from shared experiences and grow together. Do we have any other guests we would like to hear from? I'm seeing Jacinta Okoro. Is that a Toastmaster or a guest?
A guest.
Yes, please. Let's hear from you.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Actually, I've been battling in my heart. Should I not? Should I not? Anyways, it took me in fact, I just fought and I'm back from that war right now because I've been thinking, how do I approach this? How am I going to do this? Talking is one thing I don't like to do. And when I say that, people will say, "Boy, you are a lawyer." I say, honestly, that is why I'm not even practicing. That is why I am in house because I don't like to talk. And in the course of, work, life, and everything, I find myself in meeting rooms a lot. And I, Jacinta, do not talk. I write more than I talk. And I'm the person that after meeting, people will come and say, "Oh, can I see what you have noted down? Oh, please, can you email me this?" I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be talking same as every other person in the meeting room. When they say, "Oh, okay, the meeting is ended now, Jacinta, do you have anything to say?" I will nod my head. I don't have anything to say. I don't want that anymore. I attend meetings a lot and I don't contribute. I'm telling you guys my honest truth. Like I will say I'm being vulnerable right now in the presence of you guys. So I sincerely want to grow in that aspect. I want to start talking in meeting rooms. I want to air my contributions. I want to be heard. Yeah, so I was just going through a friend's WhatsApp status and they were